Hello, my name is Chris Rains with Rains Broadcasting and Rains Records, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Harrison Lineage 8-channel mic pre. The Lineage 8-channel is a rack-mountable microphone preamplifier which provides 8 microphone preamps, each from a different era of Harrison consoles. Each pair of preamps has their own unique character, providing the recording engineer with several options in a single rack space. Here we see a picture of the rear of the unit. It has 8 balanced XLR inputs and 8 balanced outputs on 25-pin D sub, and you can see a diagram of the pin arrangement. As you can see, each of the 8 microphone preamps is laid out neatly on the board using simple construction that will last a lifetime. The layout is obviously the product of an experienced designer. For example, each mic preamp's clip metering circuitry is physically separated from the mic preamp circuitry. The power supply is in its own enclosure to reduce noise leakage into the mic preamps. Each of the mic preamps has a discrete amplifier front end using transistors instead of op-amps. Many modern products use op-amps or even a mic preamp on a chip. The goal of the Lineage was to recreate the same circuitry that was used in the original consoles. 3 of the designs use a discrete transistor front end, while the Try-On uses the Lundell transformer. This results in a relatively large amount of circuitry on the board, but remember that the original circuits had to fit into a console channel strip. The resulting compact layout allows Harrison to fit 8 preamps into a single rack space unit. In some cases, the designs are 30 years old, and where necessary, parts are reproduced to match the character of the original consoles. For example, Harrison uses the sought-after 2SD786 transistor, which are part of many vintage console preamplifiers but are no longer manufactured. Recreating the console sound and using the original parts necessitated a through-hole circuit design, not the more common surface-mounted technology that is used in many modern products. As the name suggests, the Lineage is truly a walk down audio history. You get a box that is faithful to the original designs without the expense and complication of rack mounting vintage console strips yourself. So, what does all that mean? Well, it means you're getting an incredible value for the just under $3,000 price tag. You're getting 2 pre's from each decade of Harrison Lineage. All these pre's have been placed in their various consoles, large format consoles, over a period of 40 years. All of them represent particular types of sounds. They're all extremely clean sounding with a lot of gain in all of them. The Try-On being an exceptional standout, I think, because of the inclusion of the Lundell transformer and the warmth that it imparts when you're working with a tube microphone and doing vocals, which I've been doing with this. We just did our last album with that, and that's exactly what we used. We used the Try-On pre's. But the C32 and the other pre's provide a palette of sounds. The other ones are more neutral and more transparent. The Try-On imparts a little bit of color that I personally like very much, and I think a lot of you who record out there into digital will like. The Try-On pre's have some added features that the others do not. And starting on the left-hand side, you'll see these 2 buttons that can be pushed in and out, and if you watch my mouse. Those are selection buttons to choose the front or the back inputs. On the Try-On. You have XLR inputs 1 and 2 on the back, and they are mirrored on the front. And you can select between the front panel and the back panel as to which inputs you want to choose. When you push this button in, that selects the front panel, whether it's a microphone input or an instrument input. So that's very handy. It means you can have 2 microphones set up at the back full time and then use instruments and go back and forth between them. What makes it particularly interesting is over here, this fix button. The fix button, when you push that in, it activates a fixed gain, which can be adjusted here with this little micro adjuster. The teeny slot screwdriver, you can adjust that gain. So say you have something you go to all the time where the gain is consistent and you want to go to that, just go back and forth. Say a set of overheads for drums or inputs for an electronic instrument. You can set that up. And so when you select the rear panel by having the buttons out here and then hit the fix button, those fixed gains that you have set will come into play and will bypass the button on the front here, the volume adjustment, which is very handy. What it means is it's like having 4 inputs instead of 2 here. Plus, of course, you have instrument, the switch between instrument and a microphone here. It's hard to see that there, but it says instrument. So when you push it in, it selects the instrument, which takes the Lundell transformer out and reorganizes the circuit to adapt it for an instrument input. So very, very handy. And of course, it's got the pad and the 48 volt, which the other ones do have. But this is a very, very versatile system and setup, and I use it every day now in the studio, setting the gains and all that, and allowing me to go back and forth between 2 setups is a very versatile system. Well, in conclusion, what do I think about this set of Harrison Lineage pre's? Well, what you're getting for a very modest price tag at just under $3,000 are 8 of the highest quality pre's that you could buy. These are the kind of pre's that will be used in a large recording studio. The build quality is immaculate. The sounds are fantastic. And it's going to stay in my rack permanently. It has become a part of my personal recording rack for records, and it's going to stay that way. I hope that you check them out. Feel free to call Harrison. There's always a human being on the other end of the line, and their service and their support is next to no one. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.